Hey everyone, welcome to Rockwall, Texas Living, the biggest vlog in the smallest county of Texas. I'm your host, Richard Matteson, and I have a special guest with me this morning, Bethany Golden. Good morning, Bethany.
Good morning.
Well, we're going to be talking today about the Main Street program that has now been made official part of Rockwall, Texas. On the 24th, you guys had your opening event.
That's
and
right.
How do you think that went?
I think it went really well, and I think we did a really great job hosting Mrs. Perry here to our fine city. Everything was in tip-top shape, and just for, except for a few sprinkles, I think it all went just great.
Great. It's a good start, and see all the key players come together. So, Bethany, tell me a little bit about the Main Street program. What is that?
The Main Street program is an economic revitalization program based on the premises of historic preservation, hosting activities and events. It actually practices a four-point approach which combines organization, design, promotions, and economic development all together. So it's a comprehensive plan.
Okay, and then you have those subcommittees in those four areas then?
Yes, we are in the process right now of soliciting volunteers for all four committees. We actually have our Main Street Advisory Board in place. That was appointed by the City Council about a month before I got here. And we, at our last board meeting, we nominated our committee chairman, and so they're in the process right now of going out and getting volunteers to help them get our goals.
And what, I know Main Street, you mentioned on the 24th when you had your opening event that it's like 27 years old and it has 140 cities that have been involved in it. And what's been the impact of that in those cities?
What you'll see, and we actually do reports quarterly that show our economic development figures, like reinvestment summaries to show how much money is being reinvested in the downtown district. So if you look at those numbers over the years, you'll see a marked increase in that.
Okay, so we're looking at the downtown square area primarily.
It's primarily the square area. I think it's about a 12 to 15 block area.
A radius around there. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So the Main Street program has now come to Rockwall. It's been officially engaged by Mrs. Perry, the governor's wife, and other people on March 24th of 2009. And so Bethany is now the identified manager of that, working in Rockwall. So what made you decide to take that position, Bethany?
Well, it really was appealing to me. The location is great. When I came here actually a couple weeks before my interview and drove around the city and found that the downtown had a huge potential for growth and development. And it's very exciting for me to be able to be here to kick off the program from the ground level up. So.
Now, this is not the first time you've worked in the Main Street program, is that correct?
No, I was in Paris for 4 years. Okay,
so Paris, Texas, your home, and also the place where you help them revitalize their downtown.
Yes, and they're enjoying some good success with their program right now.
Great. So Bethany's going to get it from the start here and help us in that program. So what's the process like for this downtown renewal?
It's not going to happen overnight. The decline of our downtowns didn't happen overnight, so it is a process, but the Main Street approach is a proven program. I mean, if you implement the program and you do the four-point approach and you do your committees, and if you do everything that they tell you to do, it does work. So we hope that it's fast. I mean, we hope that we get it off the ground running, but we've got new restaurants coming in. We've got some great retail. It's a nice compact square. It's got a nice cozy feel to it. It's got some green space. And then just with the lake being here and the community as a whole being so positive, I don't see it taking a long time.
Okay, so you mentioned a couple things, but let me ask you that question about what does the finished product kind of look like?
Well, there is a downtown plan that was, actually they did the plan a couple of years back, and so we're trying to implement pieces of the plan as we go along. But what it calls for is a mixed-use properties downtown. Where you can live, you can work, and you can play. And so that's what you want your finished product to be like. You want a pedestrian-friendly, a walkable downtown with the events going on periodically, and you just revitalizing it. But you also want to focus on preserving your historic past too. So.
Well, and I know that our courthouse is already identified as a historic piece in the downtown area. Is there anything else that is historic now, or is that,
There are several properties in the downtown district that are historical, and some have already been identified as standalone structures. In fact, there's one on the corner there of, I believe it's Rusk and Goliad. I believe it's called Candlelight and Lamppost, and that's Larry Blackter's building. And it is just a beautiful building, and that is actually a standalone historic structure.
Okay, great, great. So what do you need to get the job done here in Rockwall?
I need lots of volunteers.
Okay.
Because all those programs that I talked about, surely, I mean, if you look at the program and you see the program for what it is and the four committees within it, the more people that you have working on those things, the faster that we can get our goals accomplished. So back to the question, when you asked me how fast we could get it done, the more people that we have, the quicker we can get it done.
Yeah. And so you're looking for volunteers to be a part of each one of those four subcommittees, and then having them be Rockwall people, that puts a little more heart in it anyway. They're just not doing this for somebody else, they're doing it for themselves.
Well, in your downtown, it's a quality of life issue, but it's also something that projects your community pride. Most people have a connection with their downtown, and so back to the question about the committees. Obviously, economic development, organization, promotion, design. We're looking for people with expertise or skills in those areas that might want to bring them to the committees. So, we're looking for bankers and, for economic development, because we're looking at grants and low-interest loan programs and things like that. So that's just kind of an example of what kinds of volunteers and people that we're looking for.
Okay, so when we look at this, we could say, you've mentioned the fact you really can't say it's going to take 5 years. It's kind of a process. So any other thoughts on when it will begin to really see some changes in the downtown area?
I think, within the next 3 to 6 months, you'll see some changes.
Okay.
Because we're going to be looking at developing our image, our marketing materials, getting the word out that Rockwall is a Main Street city. So you'll see some changes pretty quick, and that's another premise of the program is because it's so comprehensive, we'll be doing small projects coupled with large projects so that our downtown merchants and retailers can feel the change right away.
Okay. So how do people get in touch with you if they want to get involved in the Main Street program?
I would say that the best way to get in touch with me is through email or phone. And
okay. And what is that?
My email is bgolden@rockwall.com, and my phone number is 972-772-6400.
All right. So you've got that, and you can replay the tape if you want to figure that out again. And you can send her an email to tell her what your expertise is and maybe how you think you can be involved in the Main Street program. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
What else would you like to say about
Well,
the
I
program?
just thought of one more thing, and because Rockwall it's a large community feel, but it's also a small community feel, so I feel like a lot of our volunteers are probably going to know some of our board members and some of our friends of downtown, and I believe that our board members are all listed on the City of Rockwall website. So if you want to go there and look those folks up, it may be a neighbor or someone you know. So
Okay, and anybody can give input into this idea.
absolutely.
All right.
We want all the input that we can get.
Well, great. We're looking for a lot of months and years ahead that Bethany's going to be managing this program, and that Rockwall will continue to grow and change, and the downtown area will look just absolutely sharp and draw a lot of people to it. So this is an exciting time for us. We're glad that you're able to be with us just as you begin your work here, Bethany, and thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
So today, you and us learning a little bit more about Rockwall every day.